Hello? This is Patti Boo Rae. Chatti Patti. Hello and welcome to Chatti Patti, a podcast from Curious Arts. Every episode, we raise the curtain on a creative mind that makes me say, brava! And today, I am so excited to be joined by the legend, the icon, Ophelia Balls, here in the studio today as Gary. Hello, Gary.
Hello, hello.
Now, for those of you who don't know Ophelia, somehow she's a bit of a living legend, bit of a staple of the drag queen scene here in the Northeast. She has been a drag queen host and performer in the Northeast for over 30 years. She's currently presenting Balls at Breakfast on Pride Radio, which she's been doing for over 3 years. Coming up in 2025, she's hosting some DREAMBOYS shows, and she'll be working with Northeast Pride. Is that right?
Yeah, some Northern Prides around the Northeast. Yeah, I'm so excited.
And you recently came off a UK tour of an adult panto, Snow White and the Seven Drag Queens.
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, no, you didn't. See, I'm getting it, y'all. I went to panto this year, and I'm learning these things.
Did you enjoy?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was just saying before we started recording, I took my parents who are over here from Texas, where I'm from, and I don't really think they knew what they were getting into, but they had a great time. And, you do pick it up quick. By the end of it, they were right in there.
Mm-hmm. Do you think panto would work in the USA?
I would love to try it. I would absolutely love to try it. I think that it would be good for people. It's funny how we in the US especially, we're so obsessed with the idea of kids being around drag queens and performers in drag. And here it's just like not Christmas if you don't go like see a drag queen on the biggest stage in town. And I love that. I think it's good and healthy and right.
Yes, I agree with you. And I think panto has been so popular over the last 5 years, it's become into summer as well.
Really?
So, yeah. So you got the summer panto and even now Easter pantos as well. So watch out for Easter and the summer. There'll be pantos kicking around the UK.
Are you doing an Easter panto?
No.
What would you, if you could do an Easter panto, what would you do?
Oh, it would have to be Humpty Dumpty, the big egg, wouldn't it? Obviously, No, I don't know. I think Humpty Dumpty probably appropriate for Easter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Who would you play?
Maybe probably the egg. Yeah, because it's the shape of me currently.
No, yeah. They sit on a wall, have a great fall. Yeah. Sounds like quite a nice gig, really. Not a lot of
as long as we're getting paid, that'd be fine. I'd do any panto.
So, Gary, I'd love to know, in all your years doing what you do, what makes you tick? How did you decide to start being Ophelia in the first place? Did you have any kind of inspirations or something you saw that made you say, I have to do that?
Well, it started quite in a unique way, I would think. When I first started doing drag and cabaret, Ophelia hadn't even been thought of. Mm-hmm. I started as a double act with my friend called David, who we both loved musicals and show tunes and divas like Liza Minnelli and Shirley Bassey and Babs, and we all loved that. And there was a nightclub in Newcastle called Rockshots back in the late 1980s, I think
we were just talking about Rockshots with one of our guests. I feel like I missed out. I wish I could go back.
Well, it was just the place to be at the time. It was the time and just action, and it was just that's what it was. That's all we had. And just if you went in, you smelt the poppers that had been pushed through the air vents. You could smell the men's cologne. You could smell their aftershave. You could smell the deodorant.
I love the idea they just pipe poppers in through central air.
apparently. But it was just the atmosphere. That was the time, the place, all the testosterone with the guys and the big thick handlebar tashes, all dancing, and sometimes would come with their fans and do fan dances, and it was just an amazing time. You could never recreate it. You really couldn't.
And this was too darn hot, right?
This was too darn hot, yeah. So this is where we started from. So we'd done a little 20-minute show for Adrian, God bless him, who was no longer here, and it was his birthday, and we said we'd do it, and from then it just took off, and we started doing some social clubs and private dues and stuff. And then David come to me one day and say, I'm going to get a job. I'm going to the south of France. I went, oh, okay. So we both had our own full-time jobs as well, and needs must. So that's what he wanted to do. And I think, well, if you're going to the south of France,
you're dragged to the south of France,
you literally
have to go.
I know. So he ended up being something to do with the entertainment manager down there. And then I just stopped for a while. And another friend of mine called Tony said, why don't you do it? I'm going to Mallorca. Come over and do a couple for me. So I did. And Gracie Laglitz was christened, and not many people know that.
Gracie Laglitz.
Gracie Laglitz. So that was my name before Ophelia Balls. It was absolutely terrible.
Ring to it.
No, it was awful.
I mean, you've moved up. You've moved
just
bigger
a little
and better, but
yeah. So Gracie Laglitz, yeah. So that didn't work too long. I was also concentrating on a career. I was in the hospitality industry, so it was long and hard hours, you know. So that was priority. That's where the money was.
I was going to ask you about this because I just read a little write-up of you somewhere recently, and there was some little throwaway line about Ophelia Balls got her start while she was running an 8-bedroom guest house, and then and I was like, whoa, and it was never revisited, never explained. What was that? Where was that?
Well, that was later down the line. That
Right,
was,
okay.
yeah. So I concentrated on a career. I was in the catering and hospitality, and then I got sort of made redundant. I was working for Newcastle University, so I was looking after a lot of the catering department there. And then this opportunity came up of having a guest house. So me and my partner Keith were thought, will we not? Will we not? And we took it, and
Wow.
I'd never worked as hard in my life. You know, up at 6:30 doing breakfasts, catering for contractors
And
coming in.
performing at the same time?
But then I had the opportunity to spread my wings, sort of thing. So I invested in more costumes, invested in PA systems, went around the country trying to get agents. This is before the YouTube and before the internet and before mobile phones, you've got to bear in mind.
Simpler and a more complicated
Yeah,
time.
very much so. You would get a letter through the post saying, this is your contract, don't forget you need to be here by 7 o'clock and set up here and report to this person, and this is their telephone number, 06710, not a mobile, you know, and then print out off the yellow pages your directions how to get there. So I would be in Halifax, Liverpool, Middlesbrough, Brighton, London, Edinburgh, Glasgow, to name a few places, and then come back and do breakfast in the morning.
Have you always lived in the Northeast?
I have, yes, and I've loved it.
Where are you from originally?
I was originally born in a place called Hexham, which is up in Northumberland. And then I was, my mum and dad bought a house in a little place called Winlayton Mill near Bladen. And that's where I was brought up and went to school. And then when at 18, I got my first little flat with a girl, which we're still good friends, Liz. We flat shared for a while. And then I came back home because it was hard work. And you always run out of money when you're young, don't you? So I thought, right, go back to the parents, save some money. And then I met my current partner. And then about 2 years later, we rented a house, sold that, had the guest house, bought somewhere else and moved. So I'm finally happy in the northeast of England. I don't want to move anymore.
So what do you think, I mean, as a performer here, what sets the scene apart?
Well, I think, first of all, you have to make a name for yourself. And you have to do that by being something different or wearing something special or being able to have a talent. Do you know what I mean? So my age and the younger age, it's a big age difference. And I was always, well, it's the way I want to be, is appreciate all forms of entertainment. And it's be kind. That's what it's about. It's be nice and be kind. So deep down you might think, well, it's not going to work, but you needn't say that to the person. You've just got, that was really good. You look fabulous. Your makeup's stunning. You know, it'd be nice. It doesn't harm to be nice. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. But you look at people and you think, well, will they go far? What have they got that's actually unusual? Have they got mic skills? Can they tell a joke? Can they entertain a crowd? So some people can't entertain a crowd, but they've been absolutely fantastic as the way they can lip sync or dance. You know, some people are great by wearing something totally different. So you've got to have something unique and individual, I think, that makes you a little cut above other people.
And I suppose that's what Drag Idol does so brilliantly, is like give everyone a chance.
Yep.
It is about like trying to find the way that different performers shine.
Totally.
What makes Ophelia different?
I think maybe the longevity, that I've been very, very lucky in lasting so long. But I think to myself, I've lasted so long because I've maybe done something different and pushed myself and always tried to think, I want something new or different. I've always been watching, like, say for example, feather boas. No one had a big cock feather boa in the northeast of England before me, you know, and then a big ostrich boa. I wanted it, and I wanted to be the first to have something like that. And then I got a big updo wig from Vegas. I was one of the first to have one of those. So just like watching out and trying to like not set a trend, but have something different before anybody else.
Do you feel like it's harder to do that now that you can get stuff online and now that you can see on Instagram what everyone's wearing everywhere?
Totally.
To stand out. But maybe if you can still stand out, then that is even more special.
Yes. So it is harder, but everyone has access to the whole world now. When I started, I didn't. There was newspapers, and there was adverts in the back, and there was 3 wigs for $29.99, and you would wait up to 28 days delivery. You didn't have any idea what was going to come, so you would be waiting for this package
Wait, seriously,
to come.
you don't even know. You don't know.
No, you didn't even know
color,
it was coming.
You don't know length.
No. So, the wigs are here. The wigs are here. The wigs are here. Right.
Wait, that's quite fun, though.
Yeah, honestly, back in the national papers, there was adverts. So 3 wigs, special offer, $29.99.
And you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit, and then you build the whole look around whatever came in the mail that month.
Shake, shake, poop, that's your Shirley Bassey. Shake, shake, turn, that's your Liza Minnelli.
Incredible. Incredible. Oh, Gary, I'd love to know what grinds your gears. You seem a vivacious and a joyous personality, but is there anything that gets under your skin?
Not much, but recently, I would say over the last 3 to 4 years, I think as drag has become more available in everyone's front rooms thanks to RuPaul, and drag's more accessible for everyone, and it's not just frowned upon all the time. We're there for everyone, and a lot of people just think we can be touched, and it really, really infuriates me sometimes. But do you kick off? Do you not kick off? Do you tell them? Do you not tell them? So I've had that quite a few times, and it really quite upsets me that people still can't understand that we're here as an entertainer, but not to be touched.
You feel like that's getting worse?
Yes, yes. And there's no category, it's everybody, and it's not necessarily, it's not really, you would expect this to happen from a straight man, and it's not. It's other people, and it really, it enrages me. So please don't do that. Don't do that. Do you realise why you haven't got to do that? And sometimes it just blows me top a little bit, and I've just got to be calm, because do I need to explain to these people? Are they bothered? Do they need educating? And sometimes it's best just to say nothing.
It's so interesting that would get worse, as I feel like in other ways we've gotten a bit better about having conversations about not just grabbing people.
It depends on where you work, I suppose. I do a lot of gigs outside the gay community. So I'll do ladies' nights, and I'll do party bingo nights, and I'll host karaoke evenings. So this is where sometimes you get that, So it's great, and normally I can manage to handle myself quite well, but then you might get a stranger that just comes and then just go, right, okay.
Have you ever let them have it?
Yes, once I did. yeah, I marched them out the pub.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I had to stand my ground.
Absolutely. I wonder, is there anything, looking back over your career as Ophelia
Balls, how polite are you?
Is there anything that really stands out as something that you are especially proud of?
Back in the late 2000s, we decided to do some sponsored slimming, and all the money were going to go towards guide dogs. So when I was working in a company in town, everyone rallied around, and we made £5,000.
Wow.
Doing this and that and t'other in companies that I was working for. So we managed to send a check to guide dogs for $5,000. And it was just so nice that everyone just worked together. And I ended up being in the local paper because my dress was too tight. And that was one of the things that I'll always remember. And another thing I always remember was I'd never told my mum and dad that I'd done drag at all. They always thought it was to do with me Amdrams. And I kept all the costumes.
Of course, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, just another wig from Amsterdam.
Yeah. Oh, why is it coming so big?
Flying off the shelves.
Yeah. So I thought, right. I knew I was going to be in the newspapers associated with this, and I thought, right, how am I going to drop this?
So you've been doing drag for
since about
10 years or so at this point.
Yeah. So they'd seen me camp it up in shows and stuff. But they'd never seen me actually physically do. I'd never told them that I'd done pubs and clubs around the UK and had agents and all this gear,
Wow.
So and I thought I can't just let them find out in the paper. I need to tell them. I said, Mum, I'm going to be in the paper. I think they're going to do an article about me losing weight and just about my other job that I do. Okay. And then a week had passed and I'd heard nothing. And I'm going, to Keith, I'm going, they're going to be like, are they going to be okay? And then my mum said, we read that article in the paper we've known for ages. Anyway, are we going to go to the Metro Centre? Well, I need to do Debenhams. And I went, and that was it. So I had nothing to worry about. They'd heard.
Kind of crushing, actually.
Yeah. I wanted me moment, Mum, but you just said, we're going to Debenhams.
Take it away.
So yeah, and after that, they were so supportive. They really were. My dad would take us to gigs and take speakers into the clubs and pubs for me. I put a big show on in Sunderland with 4 dancers for Christmas, and they come and supported me and watched it. And yeah, so I'm so comfortable. And my mother loved when I got new stuff. I would say, "Mum, I've got some new jewelry. Oh, let's see what you got."
Oh, that's
really,
really
so yeah,
nice.
we had that lovely rapport.
That's delightful.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who maybe is just starting out and thinking about doing drag?
I think you need to look at others for experience and look at tutorials for makeup. But I also think you need to create your own identity as well, because there's so many faces look exactly the same. You need to just do something that is going to be slightly different, or get something like that, change the colour, wrap it up. I love that. I'll put a split in the other side, change the colour. That'll do me.
That's great advice.
So take it, absorb it, reverse it, spit it out.
Put it back. Plonk, 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 plonk. Chatti Patti, boom. It sort of makes me nostalgic for the people who were the hubs of, like, you know, the people who had the fabric, who had the hair, who had the shoes. Like, you had to know where to go, and now I don't know. We've lost that human element, I think, a bit, because it's
the
all
world's
online.
easier. And
it is easier. Of course, it's easier, and it's more accessible in many ways. It's good that you can get that stuff online.
Well, I think that's what, as we said earlier, that made me slightly different, because I was determined to find things that you couldn't get. So the likes, I would go to London for these feathers, again for certain jewellery shops that I'd seen, and I knew there was a wig shop, and I went all the way to Vegas, and I knew there's a wig shop there. As part of my holiday, I actually took a morning off to go to this Vegas shop that I'd heard of.
Wow.
And I rang them up and said, "Look, I'm in Vegas, can I come in?" "Yeah, sure, honey, come and see us," you know. And I went into this shack and all these wigs around. I was like a kid in a sweet shop, you know. I'm going, you know. And I paid $12 and they shipped it all the way home for me.
What?
$12 shipping, that's what I paid.
Oh,
and I've still got that
Lord.
hair. It's a beautiful updo 2-tone blonde and brown, and I've only had it restyled once. I've looked after it. It's a hard front, not lace, and I paid $110 for it and $12 shipping.
Wow.
Absolutely stunning.
Are you all caught up with Chatti Patti? So, Ophelia, you wear some absolutely gorgeous gowns.
Thank you.
And underneath them, you have a kind of a signature footwear. Tell us about that.
How did you find out? Well,
sometimes you can catch a little glimpse of ankle when you
just a little.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you why. I'm with me being one of the more mature queens these days. I tend not to get my legs out, so I'll wear a floor-length gown that's been designed and made and beautiful and rhinestoned. No, sadly not. But I'll create fabric, and I'll buy the fabric, and I'll tell people what I need to do. And then a lot of the girls are wearing sliders, but I think that's a bit not me. So I will
sliders.
Well, yeah, and that's it. Some people are working, and that's fine. But what I tend to do is I'll get a nice trainer and I'll encrust it in glass rhinestones. So I feel like Cinderella, but not going to the ball.
That's classy.
So I'm classy. So you've got the long frock, and then you've got a glittery trainer that's rhinestone to bits. I'll start a trend.
Yeah, why is no one else doing that?
I've always had like a leg problem, so I could never wear big 6-inch heels and things. I would stand in them, but I would just wobble. So I had to find something that was comfortable for me, and that's what I came up with. And then I had a new hip put in about 18 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
How's
much.
that treating you?
She's doing well.
Good. Hello? Are you a big musical theatre fan?
Oh, I love musical theatre.
What's your favourite? If you had to choose, or what's your favorite today? I won't bind you. I won't make you lock it in for life. But your favorite today?
I'm going to say my favorite today is Miss Saigon.
Rogue choice. I love it.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I just seen it at Blackpool on Saturday. Funny Girls, a company down there, they're using it as their opening number. So that is now in my head. And I love it. And it's also coming and doing a UK tour as well. So I just booked tickets a couple of weeks ago for Newcastle.
That's so exciting.
That's currently in my head. Also, Hello Dolly, which I absolutely adore.
I love Hello Dolly.
I went to see that in France in December.
Really?
Yes, it was on at the Lido, and I thought, I've got to go.
Was it wonderful?
More than wonderful.
I saw the Imelda Staunton one.
I missed it.
I have to say, listen, Imelda, if you're watching, you were phenomenal. Imelda Staunton, hear you. Imelda Staunton was incredible.
Yeah.
Rest of the production, I have to say, was disappointed.
Ah.
I was disappointed. And I'll tell you what it was giving. It was giving very much, they used all their money on Imelda and her gowns, which were beautiful.
Yeah.
And so the rest of it, sets and costumes, Panto store. They pulled it all out. They're like, oh, we got some frocks from Beauty and the Beast. Oh, we got a backdrop from, Alice in Wonderland. That'll be fine. Throw it all together. And then Imelda Staunton's in the middle of it in this beautiful, hand
that's a
beaded.
shame.
It was a shame. But she was very good.
Yeah.
I bet yours sounds better.
Well,
I'd rather go to France.
Dolly Levi was played by Caroline O'Connor, who is an Australian.
I don't know her.
Well, she's done well for herself. And I've known her since the late 80s. She starred in a UK tour of a production called Baby, which was a musical about pregnant women. And I met her in the 80s. And I've followed her through. She was in Moulin Rouge. She was one of the dancers in the Moulin Rouge film.
How fun.
And then when I heard she was doing this, I thought, I've got to go and see this. So looked down, 3 days, popped to go and see great
But you
places.
love to travel, don't you?
I do. I absolutely love travelling. I really do. So France was ticked off last year. And she sent me a personal message as well.
That's
It was so nice. I had
sweet.
friends go there and she said, I hear you've seen the show, Ophelia. Thank you so much. And I went, oh my goodness, I can't believe I've been sent a personal message from Caroline O'Connor.
Wow.
So yeah, that's just, yeah, but I do love to travel as well.
What's the furthest you've traveled to perform as Ophelia?
Oh, going back years and years and years ago. I didn't know I was going to perform until I got there. Morocco.
Oh.
Tangiers in Morocco. That was, I was staying in a place and we'd done 2 or 3 days fun cabaret there. Mallorca. That was a couple of weeks I'd done it in Mallorca and Gran Canaria. I'd done a couple of gigs over there. Benidorm. Some people knew I was coming and they said, will you come and do a couple of numbers for her? So I've got friends who I sometimes go and see if I can squash in. And they do for 5 and 6 months and they live over there. So they take everything with them and that's... They love it though.
Look, more power to you, but I just think there's something to be said for drag in the UK where it's not so hot. I can't, just a couple of times I've gotten all dressed up in Texas and it is not nice.
No.
It's not pleasant, it's not fun, and everything just kind of
drips.
So it's not for me.
Yeah, no, I get that. But they've got lots of people who go to the same place, same time every year, and they're expected to do something different, and they make a living from it. And hats off to them,
Absolutely.
And they've done very, very well for themselves.
Don't get me wrong. If I was cut out for it, I would. But
I'm not, and I haven't got age on my side anymore. With so.
Ophelia, I just don't think that's true. I think you have age on your side insofar as you are, well, as I said, a living legend. You really are, to me, are one of the kind of, not the only, but one of many incredible pillars of the drag scene
thank you.
In the Northeast and in the UK, really.
Well, I forget where I've been and how many people I've met, I really do.
So many. And I think we have never really met before today.
No.
You've never met me.
No.
But I feel like I know you in a sense because you are... when you are such a public personality, people do form what feels like a relationship to you because you're so, giving of yourself from the stage that it feels like a very personal connection. I don't know, do you find that?
I was working on Friday evening and this random woman come, you won't remember me, but you done a gig at a local club years ago and we had such fun and it was a ladies' night and you were giving away feather boas and I'm going, okay, she says, and because I had big boobs, you give me 2? I went, okay. And she says, you'll need 2 to cover them. And I went, okay. And vaguely, I remember I was working in connection with Metro Radio, which is a local radio station. And we had a ladies' night once a month at a fantastic club called Bahar Beach Club. It was new in town. It was all about surfing USA and all the beach bods and all the guys had no tops on and they would do cabaret. Right. And we decided to do a ladies' night. And one of the main DJs, I was co-hosting with him. And an amazing night. So I had 200 women in there and all the boys couldn't come in. They were rattling at the door, waiting to come in. Let me hit the girls, So, and I was going, 5 minutes, girls, to the boys coming in, 5 minutes, girls. And all the girls, give us a cheer. Boys, can you hit the girls? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it was absolutely brilliant. And one of these girls was in my gig on Friday and she went, you can't remember. And I'm going, that must be 18 years ago. 18 years ago.
Wow.
So that was so nice. I said, thank you very much for remembering that. That really made my night. Then she brought all this memories back for me and it was so nice.
But that's why you do it, isn't it? I think at its best, you are creating really remarkable experiences for people.
I know, and I've met some lovely people doing my job as well, and I forget how many people I have met, and it's just so nice.
how did you start doing radio, and was that an adjustment from coming from live performance?
It was, I got approached by someone from the BBC, a gentleman called Jonathan, who was working for television and also radio, and he was starting up this Pride Radio. And at the time, we only could have an FM license, and I think it's about 12 or 13 years ago now. We would broadcast live just for 2 weeks or 3 weeks of the Pride area. So we'd have a week running up to Pride, a week of Pride, and a week chilling from Pride. And
That's really nice.
Yeah, so it never been happened before. So we're an LGBT station with LGBT presenters, and every presenter, everyone was welcome, but predominantly people who were lesbian and gay, and we had trans people on there as well, bisexual people, which were always hard to find, the bisexual people. I don't know why.
Famously.
Maybe, but that was always quite difficult. But I think we had a couple who were, yeah, I'm happy. But we started, and that was the week running up to Pride, and then talking about Pride, and then chilling from Pride, if you know what I mean. So I got asked to do 11 till 2, and I was so nervous. And I had to put a pair of earrings in and a ring to get, hi, it's Ophelia here. I couldn't get me persona, and rather than putting everything on for a day, and I thought, right, I'm going to try earrings and a ring, and I could see the jazzle and the ching ching, and I could, hi, it's me, Ophelia, welcome along to Pride Radio. And the voice just, great, yeah. So it just, rather than just being Gary, it created an octave, and I was just more, oh, yes, I've got my diamonds on, off we go, right. There we go. And then we managed to get a permanent FM license, I think, the year after that.
Great.
So, yeah, and that was online for a bit, and then it's been the biggest it ever has been now.
That makes me wonder if Ophelia feels quite distinct to Gary, or a part of you that's kind of turned way up. How do you think about that character?
I tried my best to keep it separate.
Yeah.
I really do, because a lot of people can't believe I am Ophelia, So yes, by the way I walk maybe, or my little family jowls here, but are you that person that's just been on stage? I want to create a separate character.
Yeah.
I don't want a link. So maybe I am an extension in a way. So my mannerisms could be the same, but I try to talk a little bit different. I try to act a little bit different.
What do you think sets her apart from Gary?
Definitely that look, the way our makeup is. It's not a proper drag queen makeup. It's a proper, you'll get Ophelia makeup that no one else maybe doesn't want to do.
It is extraordinary. If y'all don't know, Google. Look at Ophelia Balls. It's beautiful.
It's not.
But it's striking. That's what I'll say.
I've done the same for years. I don't need to contour and blend. Do you know what I mean? I'll use a pot to try and contour.
That's what you're saying, it's your face.
Yes.
And you can see that face from a mile away, and oh, that's Ophelia.
Yes.
It's very distinctive. It's nobody else is doing it.
Yeah,
which is hard to do, I think.
I suppose. And I just like to wear the certain colours of hair that you would look at me and say, oh, that's an Ophelia hairstyle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've seen this hair. It's lovely. You would suit that. But I've been confusing people lately by changing colours and things.
Oh, my God, Gary.
Yeah, yeah.
How will we come?
I know. Oh, she's not red tonight.
Who does your hair?
I've got friends in the business, shall we say, to around the country that I'll say, all right, that's a good one. I'll have that one. And I think the Northeast is certainly missing some more. It's not hairstylists we need wig stylists, because there's a big difference. People say, oh, I can do that. I've got a hairdresser friend. No. A hairdresser they can maybe handle wigs, but it's monofiber, and it's a different way of texture of sorting it out. And it's just because you're a hairdresser, it doesn't say you can handle a wig.
Can you think of a time that you failed and you picked yourself up and
kept
on going?
Yes, I have. I was travelling 100 miles to a gig, doing lots of characters in the show, and I said to Keith, my other half, have you packed the wigs? No, you've packed the wigs. No, have you not packed the wigs? No, you packed the wigs. So we were literally 10 minutes away from the place. So I had to go on and do every character in the same hair.
Oh, no.
But it wasn't a problem, but I never, ever forgot a wig again, ever.
But you had one.
One wig, yeah. So Liza Minnelli was blonde, Shirley Bassey was blonde. No, I'd carried it separately because it was a bigger one.
God. So you had the biggest blonde wig for all of them.
All the characters.
That's quite funny, actually.
I did explain.
You could bring that act back.
I did explain, though.
Oh, Lord.
What else did we have? I once done a ladies' night in a little pub, and all of a sudden, someone came in and said, I told you weren't coming here. Get back in here. So this was the boyfriend of one of the girls that had came. and there was a fight, and it went to 2 fight, 4 fights, 6 people fighting, and then I was told to go and hide in the cellar with the boys.
No.
Yeah, oh yeah. So we were in the cellar
With the boys?
with the stripper guys. It was the guys entertaining. So there was 4 of us in the back end of the cellar. So we'll let you know when it's time to come out, when it's so literally.
Here's what I'm picturing. Ophelia Balls, a firefighter, a policeman, a doctor, what's another stripper? A sailor.
Sailor, yeah.
And you're cowering down like among the kegs.
Yeah. Help me, boys,
In
help
the
me, help
darkness.
me. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Is that the hammer? Oops, no.
Look, you couldn't say it's a boring job.
Certainly not. And
Never a dull moment.
No.
So, Ophelia, having been in the business for a little while, have you worked with any celebrities? Anybody we'd have heard of?
Well, I've worked with a lot of queens from that UK RuPaul's Drag Race, etc. And Baga's a good friend of mine. Lawrence, we love a bit of Lawrence.
Yep.
And also Alaska. I toured with Alaska, who was so much fun. Yeah. Hello, Ophelia. How are you today?
I'm such a fan. That's wonderful.
She was so lovely, and she had her pianist Jeremy with her, and it was just a lovely little tour. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Sadly, the Vivienne, absolutely tragic. We had her up for a closing Pride weekend, and that's where I met James. And I got asked to do a little tour with the Vivienne Baga show. And we become quite good friends on that, because Viv used to spend hours putting her makeup on, and she had a palette that she'd called the Scepter palette that she had created for herself. And the next day she went, "There you go, Queen," and she gave me one, and I've still got it in the house, and I hardly use it now because I don't want it to wear out. But we had a great little tour. I've got special memories, and one of the best memories of Vivienne, we just finished Bath, which was a posh gig. It was very nice, and we were so hungry. All of us were really hungry, and there was a kebab shop next door. And I said, "There's a kebab shop next door, girls." "Oh, really, Queen? We'll go and get some kebab." And we just had such fun with a guy with a sausage joke, and that we all just sat outside and had our chips, and I sat on a knee, and we've got some great photographs of just all of us just having a lovely, lovely time. It was so tragic, and I was on Panto when we found out about the sad news, and we had to go on 40 minutes later and put a full show on.
God.
It was tragic, and it's just so sad when you hear someone with so much talent, and she had so much more to give.
So I never met the Vivienne. I would have really loved to, and I feel quite sad that I never got the chance. But it's just so wonderful. The outpouring has made it so clear exactly the kind of person that she was, which is just like one of a kind and
unique.
Really
threw away the mold
special.
when Vivienne was made.
Yeah,
just totally unique, and the first to do this. She had an amazing voice, and she set a trend. A stunning, flawless, just a fabulous entertainer. Just so sad that she's no longer with us. Lady Bunny stayed at my house once.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if you want this and the story about it.
Yeah, that's fun. Wait, what, was she just passing through?
No. Well, it's all involved with the guest house.
I'm actually dying to know about the guest house.
The other half of me had this guest house, and we never stopped working. It was really, really hard. And I started DJing at the time when we did have the guest house, and this is when pubs closed at 10:30 on a Sunday evening. What would happen now? Yeah, last orders and time at the bar 10:30.
Oh my God, there'd be riots.
So it was to the chip shop and then the last bus home. I was working for a company at the time who had Rockshots and one of the bars I was DJing in, and they said, "We're going to have some cabaret. They're coming up on a Sunday to do a Sunday night cabaret and a Monday," and it was the time of 9/11. So how far ago was that?
24.
9/11 anyway.
24 years.
So that's when we had it. So I had the guest house from 99 to 09, so in between that time.
Yeah.
And I got told, "Can you put the cabaret up that's going to do Sunday nights and Monday nights, because we have the guest house?" And I said, "Yeah, it's quiet on a Sunday, we can sort that, no problem at all." There's one coming from America next week. I went, "All right, okay." They just want to get out the city, they're a bit depressed, and they just want to come to the UK for about 6 weeks and have some chill time and do an odd gig. I went, "All right." Something to do with a rabbit hutch or something. I went, "What?" They called something about a rabbit. I went, "Oh, right." I said, well, I've got them booked in anyway. There's a nice double upstairs.
The rabbits can come,
Yeah, the rabbits can come. And then there was a knock on the door on the Sunday afternoon. "Hello, my name's Lady Bunny." I went, "Oh my God, I've got Lady Bunny. Lady Bunny standing at my front door."
Wait, Lady Bunny needed a break.
Yeah.
So she came to stay in your guest house and just unwind in the northeast of England?
Yeah. So I had a living legend in my front room.
Oh, wow. What was she like?
Big.
Yeah.
Tall, just a totally different person out of drag than in drag. And this was one of my icons because some of my icons were Regina Fong from London, Lady Bunny back in the day, Danny LaRue. So I never actually thought I would meet one of my icons, you know.
Never thought they'd turn up at your door unannounced.
Never. We talked, we chatted about wig stock and videos that she'd been in and films that she'd done. And I was just in my awe. And we went out on the Sunday evening. She had a great gig. And then the Monday night. And then she sent me a signed CD. She just released a CD. And then she toured again with another company about 6 or 7 years ago. I said, look, can I come and see Lady Bunny again and get on stage? And yeah, of course you can. And I said, can you? You won't remember me. She went, I said, you've been here before? No, I haven't. I said, you have? Oh, yes, a good while ago. I stayed in a place and it had loads of pigs. Loads of pigs. I said, that was my lounge.
That was my house.
That was my house. You Gary? I went, yeah. She went, oh my God, lovely.
Aww.
So she actually did. When I gave her a couple of clues, she actually did. She remembered the name anyway. So happy times with Bun.
That is wonderful.
Bun.
Hello? If you would like to ask for a piece of advice from our readers or alternatively make a confession.
Confession? I've been a good girl, I have. Okay, well, I was once... This will have to go no further than the world, okay?
Absolutely.
I was once caught shoplifting.
Where?
In the local shop.
Oh, no.
In my village.
Not a small business.
It was a little village shop. And would you like to hear more?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, are the police outside?
No, they're not here.
As yet, they're not here.
Let's assume the statute of limitations has expired. You're fine. They're not coming for you. You can come clean. This will be good for you. You'll feel better, I promise.
Okay, right. Well, they used to do fresh cream cakes on a Monday and a Wednesday and a Friday, and I was waiting.
I don't know what that is. What's a fresh cream cake?
It's like a cake with some whipped cream. So they would do
on
like
top or in the middle?
Both. They would have maybe a peach Melba or a donut or an apple slice, all with some fresh cream. And there was a queue waiting to pay for some things at the till.
Yeah.
And the cream cakes were on the counter because there wasn't a fridge. I'm going back when I was about 7 or 8, okay? So about 30 years ago.
Right. Exactly.
So I was in the queue and then my finger accidentally hit the cream on a cream cake.
It happens to the best of us.
It does.
Who among us hasn't?
Well, that's it. And as I was walking down the queue, I went like that. And the cashier went, have you just run your finger through that? And I went, no. So I actually owed for cream. So I'd shoplifted some cream off the cake by accident.
I don't know if that really counts as shoplifting.
Well, I feel guilty. I feel a lot better now I've told you.
I'm so glad. A burden shared is a burden halved, as they say. What are you looking forward to in 2025? Anything in particular?
Yes, I am. I'm looking forward, I tell you, Patti, to doing less. Okay.
This has been a theme as well. I think everyone is feeling burned out.
I've done me bit. I've done me stint. I've ticked the box. I don't need to work 6 nights anymore. I don't need to work 5 nights anymore.
From the outside, it seems like you're everywhere. Everywhere I turn.
I used to be, and it's my choice sort of in a way that I don't want to be anymore. If I sold myself, I could push myself and be here, there and everywhere. But for 30 years plus, I've done well. I've ticked them boxes. I'm happy with what I've done. Mm-hmm. So I'm currently still on breakfast at the moment, which is early mornings. And I'm still, how long that lasts, I don't know. But I've done 3 years and I've really thoroughly enjoyed it. Met so many people, interviewed so many lovely people.
So wonderful.
Been involved with lots of prides. So I'm going to be hopefully doing some prides as well this year. And also I've been asked to host some of the DREAMBOYS shows as well, which is quite interesting.
Tell our readers what that is if they don't know.
Well, it's the DREAMBOYS. They are men who take their clothes off, basically, and they need a host.
Favourite kind.
Yeah, it's terrible. So they've got a show in London, and they've got satellite shows throughout the country. So they've got one in Manchester, and maybe Birmingham, and one in Glasgow, and they have one in Newcastle. And last year, I was asked to host the last 6 weeks of it. And I must have done a good job, because they were asking me to do the full year this year as well.
Right.
But I don't want to be tied up every Saturday. The whole point, I'm doing less.
Oh, every Saturday?
Yeah, every Saturday. Imagine sharing a dressing room with 4 buff boys every Saturday, taking their clothes off.
Exhausting.
Well, it would be. Give me a mental breakdown. I couldn't be doing it. So I thought, right, to save my soul, if I do once every fortnight, you know, so
I was
that's what I'm going to
once a month, but once every fortnight is a good compromise.
I might do one, miss one, won one, missed two.
See, that
so
sounds quite nice.
that's what I'm doing. So I'm sharing the job with the lovely queen in Newcastle as well. So
who are you sharing
I
with?
recommended her, the gorgeous Gloria Love.
Oh, we love Gloria here.
Yeah, she's fab. She's got a brilliant voice. Someone said, do you know anybody else? I went, perfect person.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
That'll be really nice.
And you she had work on as well. So between us, we can do the full rota to cover the rest of the year.
That's incredible.
Lovely. So we'll help each other out as well. So that's nice.
But time off though, so you'll get, you get some weekends off and you'll take some nights off, I hope.
Yeah.
And what will you do with yourself?
Well, I enjoyed going out for a Chinese with a friend one afternoon. And then after that, we went for cocktails and a couple of gins. It was really nice.
Like,
and I was home by 9 o'clock. And then didn't have a hangover.
Perfect.
My other half cooked a Sunday lunch, which he loves doing, just getting some time back and go and see friends and actually tidying up the house as well, because it's always just pushed to one side. I've got this big room, which is full of years and years of hair.
Yeah, tell
costumes.
me about it. Because all my get-up lives in this little crawl space, which it's rapidly outgrowing. But I'm always interested to see how people manage it. It's a lot of stuff.
Totally.
A lot of SHIT that just piles up. Like the wigs don't get smaller. They kind of are the size they are. And then you've got things that need to hang and you've got your shoes and so you have a whole room that's just Ophelia.
I do. When we moved the last time, we got 4 bedrooms, and one of them bedrooms, I was decided that this has to be my room. So before we moved in, I got a guy who was great with MDF and poles. And I said, this is what I am. I want shelves. I want a rail. And he said, are you sure? And I paid him quite a bit of money to do. I thought, that's all the wigs, that's all the feathers, that's all the dresses, that's the boots and shoes, that's the makeup corner. And great. And when I went, I said, you'll need more screws in here. I've got about 70 costumes I need to hang. So you had to put a double rail up to get it there. So it was empty, and now it's spewing out the door.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants for sale costumes, no, I'm getting rid of a few, to be honest.
Are you?
I just don't need them anymore, and I don't use them anymore. So they're just sitting there, and I can't throw them out. There's people, I would love to see them regenerated again with some younger people.
That's nice, isn't it? I mean, I feel like there's always people who will give things a second life.
Yeah, and they really are. I mean, they've been well made over the years, and I really do look after my stuff. And I'm quite happy to pay quite a bit of money for hair and stuff like that. But you'll always see me when I'm on a gig with a case and something in my hand, and I never put my hair in a bag. It's always carried, always in a bag. So you'll see me, oh, Gary's working. I wonder where she's been today,
It's a presence, isn't it? You make yourself known. That's a nice way to enter a room, really. Ophelia, where can people find you if they want to keep abreast of your shows and your work? How should they do that?
Well, the main one's Facebook, Ophelia Balls, and then I'm on the Instagram, which I quite enjoy using Instagram, really. So it's Real Ophelia B on the Instagram.
Real Ophelia B.
Yeah, and then I'm on the X. It's not the...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on that. Yeah. That's Real Ophelia B as well. And then I've just joined the TikToky Society as well.
How's that? I'm not there yet.
No.
What do you think?
I'm still it's still not priority, but I like things and share things, and numbers are slowly going up.
What are you on TikTok?
I think it's the official Ophelia B.
Great. But there's only one Ophelia B, so you just look up Ophelia Balls.
Things
They'll
will
find
come
you,
up.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
God, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For coming on the show and chatting. It's been an absolute delight.
A pleasure. I'm still waiting for the biscuits, but I tell you what, I'm on holiday in 2 weeks, and thank you for not providing the biscuits.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
We do our best.
Lovely to chat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Chatti Patti is a podcast from Curious Arts, hosted by me, Patti Boo Rae. The show is edited and recorded by TJmov. TJmov also designed our logo. Production assistance from Max Easter and Rayanne Bose. To see more about what Curious Arts is up to, go to their website, curiousarts.org.uk, or follow them on Instagram at curious_arts. To get more from me, follow me on Instagram @_Patti Boo. Thanks, y'all. Chatti Patti.